welcome. My name is Lexi Jong, and here I like to talk about luxury makeup. And today I thought it would be a good idea to go through some of the items that I have picked up recently from Sephora. So things that are currently available in the Sephora sale. And I've had some things just kind of sitting here that I just haven't gotten around to trying. So I thought we would do a get ready with me with trying new makeup. I have the lavender powder from Fenty, the Makeup by Mario palette. This is the metallics one. So he's got this one and the matte one that are big like this. And then there's also that metallic like mixing one. I don't remember what that's called, but this is the one that I picked up. I have a couple of items from Saie. And then if you recall during one of my haul videos, I had that one like marshmallow bouncing highlighter or something from Saie that seemed like dried up. So I did actually, Sephora refunded me for that one. So we're not going to be testing that. I decided not to retry it because I was reading some reviews and I guess a lot of people ended up getting ones that were dried out. So I figured we'll skip that. So got that. And some lipsticks, Melt Cosmetics blush. So I thought we would try a bunch of things out today and see how they do. So let's get started. All right, for primer, we're gonna start off with the Dior Forever Skin Veil Primer. And I know I've talked about this one a lot. I am somebody who, a lot of times like face primers don't seem to be all that different from each other, or you don't really notice them doing much to your skin. But there are two face primers that I really, really like. Okay, I'd even say love. So that would be the Saie Perfectioniste Primer, which is more mattifying. And then this one here from Dior. These are really the only two primers that I like for my skin. So when my skin's feeling a little bit more dry, I like to use the Dior because it really just feels like a lotion. But it does actually seem to extend the wear of my makeup. And I have not had any compatibility issues with any product, with any foundation product that I've used on top of the actual primer. And right, so you can see with this Dior primer that it does offer some blurring on the skin. It is a little tinted, so it does kind of help minimize my redness a little bit as well. I definitely have plenty of redness here in my face. And for foundation, I'm just gonna go ahead and use the combination I've been using a lot. Both of these items actually are available at Sephora. So this is the Merit Complexion Stick. I think it's actually sold out right now in my shade. I'm not positive, but when I placed my order the first day of the sale, it was sold out. And this is the shade Silk. So I just like to use my finger to blend it a little bit. And then I put it on the redness on my cheeks. So you can blend this with a brush or a sponge or something like that too, but I really just like using this particular product with my fingers because it blends out very nicely and I still have plenty of coverage. And sometimes I feel like the brush actually takes away a little bit of that coverage. It picks up the product with it. And next I'm taking the Westman Atelier Contour Stick in Biscuit. And let's put this here. I'm gonna go in a little bit heavier with this because we're gonna do this underneath foundation. So I'm also not worried necessarily about how precise it is. So with this contour stick, I really like the shade. A lot of times I'll wear it on top of foundation. I'll just use like a tiny bit and blend it out. But sometimes I like to go in, if I remember to put it on underneath foundation, I like to use it underneath. And the other part of my foundation duo is the Givenchy Prisma Libra Skincare and Glow Foundation. And I have shade 1N95. I'm gonna use the Kyoto F04 brush, which is my go-to foundation brush. So the Givenchy foundation is more of a thin serum type of texture, and it's a pretty sheer foundation. If you were to just, you know, put a few dots on and actually like brush it, you're getting a very sheer application. You can build this up to like a light medium, possibly even like medium, but I really like just putting on a lighter layer of it with the Merit underneath for more coverage instead of layering on tons of a liquid foundation. So I ended up using about half a pump. Okay, I'm gonna bring you in a little bit closer so you can see what the foundation looks like on my skin, and then we're going to apply the Fenty powder as well and see how that performs. All right, so here's the foundation. You can see that it's definitely glowy, but there's no shimmer or mica in this foundation. And again, if I wanted to disguise the redness a little bit more, I could add a little bit more of the foundation or a little bit more of the Merit stick, you know, whatever. But I'm happy with this today. I'm not going super heavy with the makeup. All right, so here's the Fenty lavender powder, and it comes in 2 sizes. This is the full size. There's also like a mini size, which I think is like $18. And just so you know, it is sealed here. So this is 28 grams of powder, or 0.98 ounces. That's a lot of powder in here, and it's made in Italy. So I think this seems like such a value. So we'll see if this lives up to the hype. This is how the container comes packaged. Okay, and we have an FB here for the sifter. So the box recommends using the powder puff brush, which I do not have, but I'm just going to decant some here into the lid, and I'm going to use, let me see what brush I have. I'm going to take the La Bouche Rouge powder brush, and let me just swirl some of that onto my brush. And let's start on this side here and see. Okay, so there's a dusting versus no powder. Let's see here, add a little bit more. So I smell like vanilla. It reminds me of the gloss bombs, just not quite as strong as the gloss bombs. All right, so before I do the other side of my face, let's look at the actual powder here. Just put some on my hand so I don't spill any here, but you can see this is a lavender shade, and it's white with just a touch of lavender. So let me just compare the Givenchy lavender to it. So this is the Givenchy one. So here it is on my fingers. This one here is Fenty. This one is Givenchy. So you can see right away that the Givenchy is a little bit more purple. Here's the Fenty again. So Fenty, Givenchy, Fenty. And they're going to be similar, but I do think the Givenchy has a little bit more purple to it than the Fenty. And texturally, the Givenchy feels a little bit nicer. Keep in mind, this Givenchy is $40 though. So compared to the Fenty, it's a huge price difference. So I'm not sure yet, you know, if it's worth that. All right, so having let that sit a little bit, you know, this is what it looks like on my skin versus no powder. I'm gonna go ahead and add some to this side. All right, so let me know what you guys think of how this powder looks. I'm on the fence. So the reasons I'm on the fence, you know, I just feel like it's like emphasizing things and kind of settling a little bit. I'm gonna try applying a little bit more with a different brush and see if that makes a difference. So this is a Giorgio Armani blush brush, and it's just really like, you know, floppy. So I like to use this for setting powder, actually. I don't really use it for blush. So what do we think? Did that do a better job? It's hard to tell because I feel like this area here was still kind of messed up from before. I'm gonna play more with this powder, so don't consider this video a review or anything on this, but I will play more with this and have this in an update relatively soon. But you know, it's also possible that this foundation and this powder aren't a great mix, or it's, you know, in my head. I do think though that using this floppier brush is a better idea than the first brush that I used. Oh, and I just realized inside the box, it comes with another sifter as well. So that's interesting. Now, typically when I use cream blushes, I usually don't set my face with powder first, but I kind of forgot. So we're gonna go in with the Melt Cream Blush Light in Honey Thief. Let me show you what that looks like. So you can see, let me just show you as I rub my finger on there, how it kind of melts a little bit. So it's got this like creamy consistency here. And this is the shade Honey Thief. And I have been really loving this particular blush. So I think the formula is really nice. It's silky, it melts in well. It gives you a beautiful finish. I mean, it's really pretty. It is scented though, and I wish it wasn't, but you know, it's one of those like fruity vanilla scents. So for the cream blush, I'm gonna take another Fupa brush. I think this is the F07. It's the mini version of the one I use for foundation. And I just got a little bit on here, but I mean, you can see how much comes up. So I'm just gonna stamp this on and then wipe the brush. So I keep a microfiber cloth on my lap and I just wipe my brushes constantly throughout application. So a lot of times though, when I am applying this cream blush or any cream blush, I like to use my foundation brush actually, whenever I use to kind of blend it in, and it gives a really nice, you know, kind of blended in look with the foundation as well. All right, so this is the Melt Cream Blush, and I do usually like to put that on before any setting powder, but again, I forgot today. So just taking my foundation brush and just kind of going around the edges, the boundaries, to kind of give it a little bit more of a seamless finish. All right, so let's go ahead and try out this Saie product. So this is the Glowy Super Gel Dewy Illuminating Fluid, and I picked up the shade Star Glow. So I was really hoping for that Marshmallow Dew Balm, I think it was called, in lavender to work out, but yeah. Oh well, maybe I'll try that again another time. But this is Star Glow. Let's see what this looks like. So here's Star Glow. All right, so it's a thin texture. This is actually plenty of product for me to use, I think. Just gonna tap this on here. All right. I mean, I don't think this is like super shiny or anything. It's a more subtle liquid highlight. I think I like the shade. It's, you know, I don't know. It's kind of like ivory with a little bit of a gold reflect, but the gold is more of a champagne gold. It's not like a super yellow gold. So I think it works well for my skin tone. I'm just gonna add a touch under the brow arch, just a little tiny bit that's left on my hand. And let's go ahead and move on to eyes. So I picked this up a while ago and I just haven't gotten around to trying it out yet. This is the Makeup by Mario Master Metallics palette. And we've got a mirror in here. And I actually like these kind of films that's on there because, at least for doing YouTube, you know, I don't have to hold it like this. So I can actually hold it up if I wanted to. So this is the palette straight on. And I have opened this and checked it out before. So I know if you're seeing like a little mark in that pink one, I probably just hit it with my finger. It was perfect when I got it. But let's go ahead and play with these. So these don't have names, but they have numbers. So it just goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and so forth, all the way up to 12. So they're just numbered. I think we're gonna start off with this one, number 5. All right, so I'm gonna use the Sonia G Crease 2 into the number 5 shade. So I'm not using primer today because, I don't know, I always like to try every eyeshadow formula without primer, even though I do like to wear primer like every day with my shadows. I think it just kind of helps them go on a little bit more smoothly, especially as my eyelids have been getting a little bit more mature. But I always like to test a formula and see how it performs on my lids without primer as well. So we're gonna skip it today. And this shadow, let me show you as I've been using it. You see that creaminess on there? It's definitely a creamy texture. So we're gonna definitely try some of these out with fingers also. First, let's go into the 12 shade, and I'm gonna use the same brush here. This is like a black metallic. I'm just gonna dab a little bit here, the outer corner here. So I'm just gonna take this brush, and I don't have any extra shadow on. I'm just going to blend this area a little bit into the crease. Gosh, it's so hard to decide what colors to use. I really wanna try this like turquoisey blue and the olive green. I'm not really sure which one I want to go with right now. Well, I guess we'll use them both. I'm going to start off with the green. I'm going to try my finger with this. So here's the green. Just going to put this towards the inner corner here. To say it has a silky texture. And yeah, just so you can see what it looks like in the palette. Looks like this, yeah, this champagne shade number 5 has a creamier texture than this green one. This green one feels silkier. I like the finish of it. All right, next I'm gonna go into this turquoise shade, which is number 4. I'm gonna use my finger again. This one has the same texture as the olive. Ooh, that's bright in a good way. Okay, going over the black end as well. So can definitely build that up if I wanted to. So there it is applied more sheerly, so you can get like a little bit less color on there if you want to. I am so bad at applying eyeshadow with my fingers. All right, so I'm actually gonna go back into this more olive green shade and add a little bit of this where they meet and just kind of blend those. And look, that's making more of like an emerald green there. I like that. Okay, I'm gonna go back in with this crease brush and just kind of smooth out those edges a little bit. And I always wipe my brush on my cloth before switching eyes, just in case I don't want to have too much color transfer to the upper lid or the, upper part of the crease by mistake. So you can see I kind of made this area a little bit of a mess when I was using my fingers. So I'm going to take the Esom V09 into this more magenta shade. This is number 11. And I'm gonna use this on the upper lash line. Let's see how this looks. Okay, so I'm not really, now this is a creamy shade. Look at that. That's creamy like the champagne shade that I used at first. All right, so there's that. Let's go into this gold shade. I wiped this off. We're gonna use the side of this V09, and I'm just gonna get some of the gold there for the inner corner. Okay, so you can see I got like a chunk of powder there. This one's not as creamy as I thought. That was my application mistake, but still. Right, and then for the lower lash line, I'm gonna go back into this green shade using the same brush. So this one's actually really creamy when you dig into it too. I guess Just first off, it felt different, but now that I've kind of like dug the brush into it, it has a creamier texture. I'll have to play more with this palette to really get a better feel for it. All right, so that's the eye look for today. I think that is plenty of shadow to play with there. And let's see, for mascara, I am going to use the Lancome Lash Doll. This is in a mini size. They also have a full size available, so you know, you can always try out the mini first. All right, and for brows, I'm just gonna take the Merit Brow Gel. This is a nice basic brow gel if you're looking for like a clean beauty brow gel option. I think this is nice. It gives you like a natural look. I don't know. I don't have super unruly brows, so I don't know how much hold it provides, but you know, it'll give you a nice tint. And I have the shade brown. All right, and moving on, we also have another product from Saie. This is the Really Great Gloss. And I picked this up in the shade Fresh. So this is actually what made me want to try this brand, is because I've heard a lot of really good things about the Saie lip glosses. So I figured might as well try a few things. All right. This has a scent. Okay, I have no clue what this scent is. It's kind of complex, in my opinion. So it almost smells like burnt caramel with a little vanilla. And I don't drink coffee, but I feel like I smell a little coffee mixed in there too. So I don't know, maybe it's just me. So this particular shade is very light. Let me just swatch this on my hand here. So here it is. It's a very, very light nude peach. Texturally, it's a thinner gloss. It's not super thin. Once I put on the second coat, you know, it's a good consistency, but it does have a little bit more of that lip oil, lip gloss type of texture. It's not sticky. There's definitely a lot of slip. And yeah, so I think the biggest thing is going to be, do you like the scent or do you not? It doesn't bother me, but I can't say that I love it, but I don't know. To me, I feel like there's a little bit of a coffee type set in there, like a caramel macchiato or something. So I feel like some people are really going to like that. So I just licked my lips just to see if there's any taste from this lip gloss. I do think there is a little bit of a taste. I can taste it a bit. So just something to note there. But texturally, it feels really nice. And this shade in particular is great for barely there kind of color. So it's one of those ones you can stow away in your purse, or I like to keep them on my desk and just put on whenever. You don't have to worry about, you know, using a mirror or anything. It's almost clear, but gives a little bit of that peachy look to it. All right, so then this is my final look from a distance. Let's go over these products. So we started with the Dior Forever Skin Veil Primer. I absolutely love this primer, highly recommend it. If you have dry skin, I think this will perform really well. It performs well for normal skin. And I think even for combo skin, this would work. I don't know about super oily skin, but I think it's a fantastic primer. And then we moved on to the Merit Complexion Stick. I personally really like this. Using it for spot concealing is great. Using it for under eye concealer works well for me. And then I also, sometimes I just wear this, you know, on its own. It provides good coverage, has a little bit more of a matte finish. I use this shade Silk. I have this in a few videos, so if you're interested in more information about this, there's a video specifically on Merit and one on product updates where I just recently updated this and how much I've used and so forth. So I'll leave those linked down below. Then we used the Westman Atelier Contour Stick in Biscuit, and I was kind of messy with the application on there because I wanted to show you kind of what it looks like with the foundation on top and how it kind of like shears out those edges nicely, but you still end up having like actual dimension there. So I think, you know, it works really well. I personally really love this contour stick. I don't contour that often. I don't bronze that often either. I kind of do one or the other usually. And for me, this is one of my favorite items to use. And then we moved on to the Givenchy Prisma Libre foundation. And you know, I've mentioned this before, but when I first started using it, I thought it was only okay. But the more I use it, the more I love it. I love the natural, like glowy look you get on your skin. And it really performs well. I don't think it gives me 12 hours worth of wear. It does fade by the end of the day, but honestly, it's like sheer to light coverage. So, you know, it's really not that noticeable as it fades usually. And I've had absolutely no issues with it settling into lines or balling up or anything like that. So I think it's a really nice foundation if you're looking for something a little bit lighter in coverage. And I've really enjoyed pairing it with the Merit Stick as well. Next, we moved on to the Fenty Pro Filter Powder in Lavender. And you know, I think it seems like a nice powder so far. I definitely have to play with it more. I need to wear it and see how it performs. I'll let you guys know down below in the description box with an update if anything was unusual with the wear of this powder, but you know, we'll see. So I don't want to give any like opinions or anything on this yet. So far, I think it seems okay. And I need to wear it more to see exactly where it's going to fall in my preferences, but it's definitely a fantastic value. Next, we went in with the Melt Blush Light, the Cream Blush Light in Honey Thief, and that's this shade here. And I really, really like this shade and this product. It goes on the skin so nicely. Again, I usually put it on underneath powder instead of on top of the powder, but it still performed well with that. And I think it just gives a really nice sheen to the cheek. I wanted to pick up more of these during the Sephora sale, but actually they only have 2 that do not have shimmer, and I didn't really want any shimmery blushes. So this is one of the 2 without shimmer, and I just think it's a gorgeous, gorgeous shade. So I really like that, and it does have a magnetic closure here. So it's nice, and the scent doesn't really bother me. It just kind of surprised me. Moving on to the Saie liquid highlighter. This is how it dried on my hand. You know, I didn't rub it in all the way so you can see all those ridges, but you know, it gives a little bit of a subtle accent. I think it seems nice, and I'll, again, if there are any issues with the wear or anything, I'll leave an update down below in the description box with the powder as well. But I think it gave a subtle illumination, and I'm sure I could layer this to get it more like this, but yeah, it seems okay. Moving on to the Makeup by Mario Master Metallics palette. I like it, and I like the colors. I like the texture of the formula. I need to see how they perform over the course of the day. And yeah, you know, I'll do an update on this if you guys want, or if you want a dedicated review, leave me a message down below and I can do like a few eye looks with it and all that. So just let me know what you guys would like to see, if you want to see any more about this palette or not. But I think the actual texture seems really nice. So I'm glad I picked this up, and I'm looking forward to playing with it more. And the mascara, the Lancome Lash Idole mascara, if you watch my mascara ranking, I really like this mascara. I think it does a great job. I didn't even have to curl my lashes today. I do think they would look better curled. You know, this isn't like a super curling mascara or anything like that. And I could have held it up as it dried, but you know, I think it does a great job. It's kind of the master, you know, it kind of fits all of the different categories. It adds some volume, it adds some length. It definitely can be a little bit dramatic. You can build this up and get this way more dramatic. I just prefer a little bit more of a natural, lighter look usually. The Merit Brow Gel, I think, is a nice brow gel. It's definitely something that I will use a lot during the summer. To me, if you've tried the Wander Beauty Brow Gel, I find them to be similar, but this has a better wand. The Wander Beauty one is very kind of flimsy. So I like the wand on this better, but I think performance-wise, they are fairly similar. And then last up, we have the lip gloss. And I have to say, I'm really enjoying the way it feels on my lips. It's a lip gloss. I'm not expecting long wearing or anything. This color, you know, it's almost clear, but I like it for like one of those easy everyday things. The scent, I can actually still smell it on my lips. So, you know, that's the one thing that I don't love. I don't love strongly scented lip glosses. I would say this is like medium strength for how overpowering the scent is. It's not overpowering. And again, I think this is a scent that a lot of people are actually going to like. So I think I'm more in the minority there, but I like the color. I like the texture. I probably won't pick up more just because my favorite lip glosses, you know, are the Saie lip glosses. And once you find a favorite, you know, I like trying other ones, but I'm not going to go out and buy like a ton of other shades in ones that I don't like as much as something else, if that makes sense. So I do really like this lip gloss texturally, and I like this shade, but I think the scent is going to be a personal determining factor. So overall, I think the look turned out pretty well. I'm happy with everything that I used today. As to how much I like everything and how it performs, again, I will leave a performance update down below in the description box. The blush lights, I can tell you I've been wearing that Melt Blush Light for a couple of weeks now, since they came out, basically. I picked one up right away. And I really, really like that one. It performs really well. So that I can tell you. But for any of the newer items that I just tried today for the first time, I'll leave product update down below in the description box. And if there's anything you'd like to see more of, anything for an in-depth review, or if you just want an update on it later, please let me know down below in the comments, or DM me on Instagram. I'm at Jong. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'd love to know your thoughts on these items, if you've tried any, what you're interested in, and I hope to see you very soon. So have a great day. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you very soon.